Coming up on the Big Show, the playoff picture finally crystal clear, and 4 Big Ten teams have a shot at the Natty. Exclusive reaction from each CFP contender on the way. 8 other teams from the league also set to go bowling. All the details on the where and when your favorite team kicks off its postseason. All that plus a heavy day of hoops on both the men's and women's conference calendar. An extended edition of the Big Show kicks off and tips off right now. Welcome inside a very special edition of the Big Show. Rick Pizzo joined by Howard Griffith on what is truly a momentous day in the history of college football. For the first time ever, a 12-team playoff field revealed. With the bracket, we have 4 outstanding first-round matchups. And, of course, there will be some debate, discussion, and disagreement about teams included and excluded from the playoff field.
Well, I think when we went into this and we knew it would be 12 teams, I think everyone got excited about the fact that more people were going to be involved. That meant both larger part of the country was going to have an opportunity to root for their teams, and that mission was accomplished. But there's still going to always be some people, whoa, what about 13? What about 14? We were right there. We could have been in. You just have to go out and take care of your business each and every week and not leave it up to the committee. And some of the teams that were left out ultimately did not take care of their business.
The rankings, very important. The final seeds, more important, because that is what determines who is actually in the field of 12. So first we show you the rankings as revealed by the College Football Committee. I give a lot of credit to this committee. The committee said it would not punish teams for playing in and losing their championship games, and they lived up to that. You see the final rankings, which include Clemson at number 16. Why do we show you Clemson? Because as AC champs, they are in the field, which means that one team in that top 12, and it's not number 12 Arizona State, because they are conference champs as well. It's Alabama, the 11 seed, that is the first team excluded. Should also point out, in addition to the 4 Big Ten teams inside the top 8, Illinois finishes the year ranked number 20. And so with all these rankings in place and the rules regarding conference champions, here's your bracket. Oregon, the 1 seed, followed by Georgia, Boise State, and Arizona State. Those 4 teams have a bye until the quarterfinals set to be played on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. That sets up 4 first-round matches, including Ohio State at home against Tennessee, Indiana on the road to face Notre Dame, and Penn State at home to host SMU. We begin our bracket breakdown with the top overall seed, Oregon. Ducks locked up that top spot with an epic 45-37 win over Penn State in Saturday's Big Ten championship game. Oregon survived shot after shot from the Nittany Lions, getting all everything performances from Dylan Gabriel and champ game MVP Tez Johnson, while the Duck defense did just enough to cap off an unbeaten conference season in Oregon's first year as a member of the Big Ten. And a decade after losing the very first national title game of the playoff era to Ohio State, Oregon back in the mix, this time as the odds-on favorite to win it all. Speaking of winning, the guy on the screen right there, pretty much all Dan Lanning has done since arriving in Eugene. More wins in his first 3 seasons than any Oregon coach ever. Alyssa Charleston is with the Ducks and has more alongside the Oregon headman.
Well, Coach, you and your team guaranteed there would be no surprises today by winning the Big Ten championship last night. What did it mean to earn that number 1 seed in the college football playoff?
Yeah, we're really excited, obviously. It's been a lot of hard work. We put in the time, put in the effort, have a team that really believes in each other. So proud that we get the chance to represent Oregon in this opportunity.
And you don't know your opponent until December 21st, but you know it will be Tennessee or a rematch with Ohio State. A lot of people looking at that. How do you look at that potential matchup with the Buckeyes?
Well, two unbelievable programs, so I'm not going to predict which one we're going to get to face, but certainly that's what college football is about, getting to play in games like that against 2 premier programs. It's going to be a fun challenge regardless.
And your team went 13-0, undefeated, took care of business. How important was it to have the versatility? You won in so many different ways. You said on Big Ten Network last night, we'll win any way you like it. How important is that in the college football playoff?
Well, it certainly mattered for us. You even look back early in the season, we play Boise State, who's obviously turned into a great football team, but it took 2 special teams touchdowns for us to be able to come out on top in that game. And games where we've had to win it on defense this year, last night we had to win it on offense. So the fact that we have some versatility there, we have some resilience is great. What I would love to see the rest of the way is put all 3 phases together. Hopefully that's the hope.
You've played in and won national championships as part of a coaching staff. What does it take this time of year?
It takes a lot of things. It takes a great team, right? It takes a little bit of good fortune, right? The ball has to bounce the right direction at times, and it takes elite preparation. So you hope to control all the misfortune and fortune with your preparation, because there's some things that aren't going to go the way you plan it. But if you have talent, if you have a great staff, which we do here, great talent like we do here, then you hope that the rest can take care of itself.
Coach, thank you so much for the time. Can't wait to watch you in the Rose Bowl.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
As Alyssa pointed out, that location is finalized on January 1st. It will be Oregon against either Ohio State and Tennessee. Howard, you were in Indianapolis on Saturday night. Got to see this Oregon team firsthand. What jumped out to you about what makes the Ducks so special?
Well, I think one of the things that jumps out, it really happened after the game. The maturity of this team, the way they go about handling their business, it's easy for me to see why they're in this position. It's hard to run a table and be undefeated to this point, and you have to have a mature team that's buying into what the coaches are talking about. And when your leaders, your best players are doing that, it's easier for those younger guys to be able to follow suit. What's impressive about this team is they struggled last night in some areas, right? They would get out and get going offensively. Defensively, I thought this was a team that they could really control Penn State offensively, but Penn State really gave them all they could handle. But they were a resilient bunch and were able to come up with big plays when they needed from their best players.
How about the post-game interview with Tez Johnson where he shared with our crew that he went to Dan Lanning and said, Coach, we need your best 15 minutes heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so that immediately got a chuckle from us at the desk. But when you sit back and you think about that, right, he had the confidence and understands, and it just wouldn't have been Tez Johnson to be able to do this, but when your players can have that type of interaction with their coaches, there's trust there, there's belief there on both sides that they can go out and do what they need to do, so you can feel free to speak your mind, not being disrespectful, but you can speak your mind and say, hey, listen, Coach, this is what we need to do, and there's a trust there that is hard to quantify, but that kind of trust is what championship teams are built on.
And at the end of the day, Oregon also has the NCAA football all-time leader in touchdowns accounted for, Dylan Gabriel. We looked at his game last night and thought he played okay. 4 touchdowns through the air, did not turn it over, went for well over 200 yards, and continues to run this offense, orchestrating it like a conductor. Big reason why he'll likely be in New York as a Heisman finalist. A big reason why Oregon is locked in to the Rose Bowl. As for the Big Ten runner-up, Penn State showed it was more than deserving of a playoff spot and a first-round home game throughout the course of the season and the course of Saturday night's championship game, playing arguably its best 60 minutes of the year. The 11-2 Nittany Lions, only 2 losses this season, coming against 2 other playoff teams in Oregon and Ohio State. And now, isn't it fitting, Penn State will face a fellow conference runner-up in the SMU Mustangs, who also lost a title game in the ACC final against Clemson. And if you're a Penn State fan, the only experience better than a whiteout is a playoff whiteout. The ultimate PSU game day tradition back in the mix for the December 21st noon Eastern kick against SMU. Hannah Mears spent her day in State College on Sunday with the Nittany Lions and had this chance to go one-on-one with James Franklin.
Coach, it's a new era for the college football playoff, and your team is seeded 6th. What's your initial reaction to how things shook out?
Yeah, just excited to continue playing the game with our team and this family. In terms of the opponent, we don't have any control or impact in that. But we're just ready and excited. We just literally turn the film on, start to evaluate them and break them down. Something that our guys need to understand, we need to move on. We had a tough game last night against the #1 team in the country, had a chance to win that game, but we got to move on and start to get ready for SMU.
Speaking of that, though, your 11-2 Nittany Lions went toe-to-toe with the #1 team in the country. What about your team all year long leads you to believe that you can win it all?
Well, this team knows how to win. We've done it a ton of different ways in a ton of different environments. We got a mature team. We got a resilient team, and I think we're getting better. The last 3 to 4 weeks of the season, I feel like we have gotten better. Some areas that I think we can still improve, and that's what we'll be focused on, over the next week and a half.
How much do you hope that mature mentality helps when you have to turn the page pretty quickly and with the season on the line?
Yeah, it'll be critical. We talked about it last night in the locker room. We talked about it again today. And I think our leadership understands that. We got a bunch of guys, as you know, have been playing here for a number of years. They understand what it takes. And they're also excited about the opportunity. So I think we'll handle it the right way, and we'll get started on Tuesday.
Something else that's exciting, a home game in Beaver Stadium, and I heard there's whiteout conditions. How pleased are you with the fact that you get to have your home crowd behind you, but also get to put your whiteout in there?
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome, and hopefully it's more than just a whiteout in clothes. It'll be hopefully a whiteout in weather as well. We need that place rocking. We need great energy because we want to make our fans and our lettermen and our alumni proud, and we need everybody to do that.
No team was more discussed at the start of the season than Penn State in regards to being a beneficiary of the 12-team playoff, because Penn State would have been part of the playoff the last couple of years had it been a 12-team field, not a 4-team field. They are joined by Boise State, Arizona State, Tennessee, Indiana, and SMU, as half the field is making its very first appearance in the college football playoff. I understand Penn State lost the game, and I understand the defense, which has been very applauded throughout the course of the year, didn't play its best game against Oregon. The Ducks will do that to you. But, Howard, I think you could also make the argument that Penn State may have played its best 60 minutes of the year on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think without question they played their best game. And the reason you can point to that is the way they were able to bounce back, the blows that they were taking from Oregon, particularly Oregon's offense. You would have thought in years past that this was a team that, okay, this game's about to get away from them, because you didn't believe that they had the firepower on offense to make things happen. But the creativity that had been talked about this offense all year long, it showed up last night. You're talking about the backs running vertical routes, not just running wide routes, but getting vertical, getting those matchups versus linebacker. Tyler Warren getting matchups versus linebacker. He was winning. I'd say this. Those skill position guys got to get some rest, because Tyler Warren was worn out. He is a big-time player, but he really makes that offense go. And anytime he in a one-on-one situation, you're not going to be able to guard him. He just goes up and makes plays every time.
James Franklin was only half joking, by the way, when he referred to not just one but two whiteouts, the fan base, and hopefully the weather. This is a massive advantage for Penn State. You have an SMU team that doesn't play home games in these conditions, really doesn't play any games in the kind of conditions you expect in late December in State College. You can't really quantify just how big of an edge that is for Penn State.
Yeah, you can't, but they need to be dialed in and focused, because when you look at this field, I think most people will tell you that Penn State has a nice two games ahead of them that they should be able to go out and play really well, particularly the way they played last night. They can't worry about that kind of stuff. They got to be focused on the details and take one game at a time.
Penn State, SMU, December 21st, noon Eastern, inside Beaver Stadium. Now we know it has likely been a rough week in Columbus following a fourth straight loss to Michigan, yet perhaps the Buckeyes' inclusion among the top 8 seeds in the CFP did serve as a bit of a panacea for Ryan Day and company. Ohio State's third and final preseason goal is still intact after missing out on the first two, as OSU's playoff journey begins the night of December 21st inside the Horseshoe against the Tennessee Volunteers. Of course, the first two of those very well-known goals I mentioned for Ohio State are to win the Big Ten and to beat Michigan. Neither happened. Now it's come down to needing 3 straight wins to accomplish what this team was built to do. It'll start in the shoe, and a win over Tennessee in just their second ever meeting would set up round 2 against Oregon in the Rose Bowl. First things first for Ryan Day, who's with our Danny Rogers.
Coach, what was your immediate reaction when you learned your Buckeyes will host the 9-seed Tennessee Volunteers in the first round?
Excited. Saw the fact that we're going to be playing 8 o'clock game in the shoe. Historic opportunity. First playoff game ever in Ohio Stadium with all the great history of over 100 years. It'll be the first time ever we're playing a playoff game. So got a great opponent coming in here in Tennessee, and we're obviously really excited about turning this thing around only in 3 weeks and playing this game.
As you move forward and this whole team looks forward to a big goal that's still intact, what's been the mindset in the building?
Well, coming off of the last game, certainly, you need a few days to kind of work through all that. But you got to address the issues. You got to get them fixed. Every team that's in this playoff is going to have issues, and they're going to have things that they got to get fixed. So we got to do that. We had the same thing coming mid-year. After the Oregon game, we got some of those addressed. We got to get these things addressed. We know what needs to get done. Got to have 2 weeks of prep, but it's going to be on us fast.
You've played 3 of the top 9 teams in the college football rankings. You've beat 2 of them. How does your body of work speak for itself as you look to potentially 4 more opponents?
Well, I think for us, there's a confidence there. When you look at the guys who are, on that list of teams, there's some very, very good teams there. But I think for our guys, there's a lot of guys in that room who have played. A lot of the people that are on that list in the tournament right now. And I think the thing for us is we just you got to win the first one. Anytime you're in a tournament play, you got to win the first one. It builds momentum, and so that's going to be our focus.
You mentioned it's an 8 p.m. kick. It's going to be cold inside the shoe, but how much are you looking forward to the fans and the environment?
Man, it's going to be rocking. It's just going to be a great opportunity for our guys, and I'm excited for our players. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for the coaches. I'm excited for the fans to get together on this thing and get a win, get the first playoff win ever in the horseshoe. It's going to be loud. It's going to be rocking. It's a night game. I mean, it's going to be electric. So I think that's exciting for our guys, too, as we head towards the preparation. Bottom line is what happens is what we do on the field, our execution and all that, and we'll get into that as the week goes on. But just sitting here right now, we're obviously excited about it.
That is the bottom line. Of all the lines that we just heard Ryan Day speak, the one that sticks to me, confidence. That's a word that he used right there regarding his team, and I wonder what this staff has to do to make sure that confidence goes back to the way Ohio State played in the tight loss at Oregon, the win over Penn State, and not to let that loss to Michigan fester for a couple of more weeks.
Well, I think the key thing is that they didn't play this past week, so had an opportunity, and Coach Day talked about it, to address some of the things that went on in that Michigan game and try to fix them as they get ready to move forward, because it's going to be important that they turn the page, because this is a talented Tennessee team, particularly on the offensive side. They've got a quarterback that can make all the throws and has some big-time wide receivers, so they need to be dialed in and focused, and they can do that, and they also have the confidence. You go back a couple of years when they had gotten knocked out and didn't think they had a chance to do anything else. Then all of a sudden, one game happens, they're in the playoffs, and probably are a play away for playing or winning a championship.
I will say I like this matchup in the sense that Ohio State seems to play better when they are facing other teams that like to get up and down the field. You look at that Oregon game in comparison to the grinded-out game against Penn State. I know they beat Penn State, lost to Oregon, but I think we all agree they played better in the game against Oregon. They seem to be at their best when the pace is moving and they're reacting and letting their instincts and athleticism take over as opposed to overthinking the game itself.
An opportunity for this team to get healthy, particularly in the offensive line, so they may be able to control the offensive line a little bit better in this matchup.
Great point. Got to get those guys, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson, going. As good as this Ohio State defense is, the best defense is keeping the offense on the field and not letting Josh Heupel call those plays for Tennessee's high-powered offense. The fourth and final Big Ten team inside the CFP bracket, not just the nation's best story this season, but also perhaps the greatest underdog success story in the history of Big Ten football, and that's not hyperbole. Indiana finished the year 11-1, losing only a road game at Ohio State. Now the number 10 seed Hoosiers will make a short in-state road trip to South Bend for a Friday night, December 20th, first-round playoff meeting against Notre Dame. The record book hasn't just been rewritten this year in Bloomington, Howard. It's been burned, and it's rising from the ashes like a phoenix, which coincidentally is the mascot at Elon, where Curt Cignetti authored one of his earlier program turnarounds. And now it's time for another turn, because IU hasn't beaten Notre Dame since 1950, losing 20 of 21. Let's hear now from the head Hoosier, who's with Ashley Adamson.
Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on making the college football playoff first time in Indiana history. It's been a remarkable season. I just wonder what your reaction was like sitting in here in your office and hearing your name called.
Well, you kind of expected it, but there is a lead up and anticipation. And, the thing I thought about was the odds against us making this playoff at the beginning of the season were probably greater than the odds of us winning the national championship will be. So we've overcome that mountain already.
What do you know about Notre Dame?
I know they're darn good. I know they're a physical football team. They've won 10 in a row. They're really well coached. Running backs, quarterbacks, a dual threat, play great defense, play up there. You know, it'll be a little cold probably, right?
Just a little.
Yeah,
Maybe just
I've
a
been
little.
up there a few times.
Yeah. Short drive for Indiana fans who are going to be able to hopefully come watch you guys play in their first ever college football play for the Hoosiers. I just wonder what you've learned about your team over the course of this season. And I think you believed that you guys were able to do something special here in year number one. What have you learned about this team as it's gone on?
Well, I learned that this team's a team with great senior leadership, a lot of guys that could be out in front as the leader, and they play as a team, and they listen to the message and they apply it. And once we got winning, you know, the confidence and belief kind of snowballed, and seen it happen before, and we were packing the stadium, and we had quite a movement around Hoosier Nation. And it's been great to see. And but this is a team that's also not satisfied. You know, I think it's really important that we take the lessons we learned from Ohio State going on the road with a loud crowd and apply them next time we go on the road, and I'm confident we will.
Coach, thank you so much. Congratulations. Best of luck against the Irish.
Thank you.
Friday Night Lights with Touchdown Jesus watching in South Bend, an unbelievable setup for Indiana. And yet, once again, Howard, despite everything Indiana has accomplished this year, they are considered by everyone outside of their locker room, everyone outside of Bloomington, to be massive underdogs in this matchup.
And I think they'll accept it and embrace that, because that's what it's really been all year long. Even though they've been able to go out and take care of their business, this will be a tough place for them to go play. But again, he talked about it, mentioning the experience they had at Ohio State going into a hostile environment. They will have a similar type environment that night as well. So they have to be prepared. They really what got them into trouble at Ohio State was self-inflicted wounds. You talk about special teams not being great there, turning the football over. This is going to be a tough matchup, but this is a Notre Dame team offensively that wants to run it at you. And that, to me, really works better for Indiana to be able to keep things at them, getting Fisher to be able to run around a little bit and understand where he needs to go, allowing that defensive line to step up and make plays for them. That really bodes well for them. Now, on the other side, you talk about their Notre Dame's defense. They're going to come for you. They've got talented defensive line, unbelievable secondary. But if they can give him time, if they can get rid of the ball quickly, those receivers are going to find opportunities to get open, but they'll also have to be able to run the football.
I agree. I think that's the key. In Indiana's wins, when they blew people out this year and Curtis Rourke was throwing at an 85% completion rate, he had all sorts of time to throw the ball. When they struggled, most notably against Ohio State, JT Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer, the rest of that defensive line, Cody Simon just chewing up the Indiana offensive line. But it is a matchup made not just in heaven, but in the CFP committee room, and it is a matchup that everybody in the state of Indiana is ready for. So much still to come on this 90-minute edition of The Big Show. I sit down with 4 bowl-bound coaches, including Minnesota's P.J. Fleck, Scarlet Knight headman Greg Schiano, Washington first-year head coach Jed Fish, and Brett Bielema, who just led the Illini to a 9-win regular season and is set to take his team to Orlando for the Citrus Bowl. Illinois is headed to the Citrus Bowl, the 21st bowl game in program history after a 9-3 regular season, with this Illini team now having a chance to tie the all-time record for wins in a single season. Illinois has been ranked among the top 25 for 11 weeks this year, which also trails only 2 other teams in Illini history. The success story continues in Orlando on December 31st, when the Illini will face 15th-ranked South Carolina in another Big Ten versus SEC showdown. Perhaps a bit surprising to learn these teams have never before met. Should Illinois find victory in its first ever date with the Gamecocks, the Illini would have 10 wins for the first time in nearly a quarter century. Won't be easy, though, as South Carolina is rolling, having won 6 straight by an average of more than 20 points per game. We head now to Champaign, check in with Brett Bielema. Brett, how did this group just completely blow away all the outside expectations in the preseason?
You know, I think they just take a daily approach. I really like their ethic, their work ethic, their attitude, their demeanor. You know, I think we've always said that you're defined more by your moments of adversity than moments of success. And these guys, I think that the catalyst were some of the guys who were around last year and the frustration of that, and then parlayed it into what they did this year. Is just super proud and really excited to get one more opportunity to play with these guys, and obviously a great opponent in South Carolina. And on New Year's Eve, it'll be a really special event.
and you'll head there being one of those teams who's ranked in the final CFP release of the year. What does that do for your program today and, more importantly, in the future?
Yeah, great point, Rick. So, even just the last 3 or 4 days, as this portal begins to open up, in our signing class on Wednesday, we had 21 guys sign, and 9 of those guys were flips from other schools. I think as we gathered a little more notoriety across the country, we just got a little more sexier, and everybody kind of want to be a part of it. So really excited. And this group, Rick, we actually had 14 all-conference players announced last week, and 11 of those 14 come back for next year. So this is not only the culmination of this year, the last opportunity we're guaranteed, but we're going to use it as a little bit of a stepping stone, hopefully into 2025-26.
Now you'll face South Carolina in the Citrus Bowl. I know it's early in the scouting process. What can you tell us about what you know about the Gamecocks and their head coach, Shane Beamer?
Well, I called Coach Beamer earlier today when I found out and gave him a congratulations just on an incredible year. And, they won their last 6 games. They really lost a heartbreaker to Alabama. And then really from that point forward, played as good a football as anybody in the country. Beat Clemson, a team that obviously is in the playoffs. So just a really good, solid football team offensively. Their quarterback is very, very similar to ours, a very dynamic player. I think he kind of makes it all go, a very productive run game. Coach Beamer, as you know, very similar to his father's footsteps, takes a lot of pride in the special teams battles and awards in that. Defensively, they're a very gifted athletic group that has a lot of talent, especially up front. It's very easy to see why they've been able to be successful in league play and beyond.
Brett, we'll finish here. I want to know who's more excited about going to Orlando over the holidays, you or the 2 girls?
I think, my oldest, my wife, right? She's the keeper.
3 girls, I guess I should say. My bad, right.
Yeah, all good. She's from Tampa, so she's very excited. We'll have a lot of family over for that. But, yeah, I was blown away last night, kind of channel surfing, watching all the games, and I had my daughters. We had a computer open. We're looking at rides at Universal and Disney. They're at that age now, 5 and 7, where they know what's going on. They're very excited. A lot of their friends with, obviously coaches on my staff they go to school with, they get to spend a week in Orlando and some warmer weather. So really excited. And really that's a microcosm for our fans too, right? Like our fans have been awesome this year, had some of the best crowds and environments here in Illinois football history over the last 20, 25 years, had a home field advantage against a ranked Michigan team to pull out a 100-year anniversary game. So for this year, our fans have been treated to some really good games here in Memorial, and hopefully get one more down in Orlando.
It has been a fantastic run to watch. We hope it continues against South Carolina. Brett, as always, appreciate the time.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it. ILL.
Always great when you keep the entire family happy on a bowl trip. Trivia question for you, Mr. Howard Griffith. You know the last time Illinois played in the Citrus Bowl?
That probably was on the team.
Yeah, 1989. You and Jeff George, I believe, with an Illini victory. No eligibility left, Coach Bielema, in case you're asking. This Illinois team has exceeded all expectations. You have Luke Altmaier, a guy who found his way in the system, and Pat Bryant, one of the breakout stars at wide receiver, not just in the Big Ten, I would argue in the entire country this year.
Yeah, what Pat Bryant was able to do this year was really remarkable. When you think about some of the quality wide receivers that are in this conference, he has to be in that discussion because the ball goes up, he's coming down with it. And you think about the clutch plays that he's made down the line, and these aren't receptions for 7 yards, 8 yards. You're talking 17, 18 yards and really making things happen. So they will be very fortunate if they can have his services game day.
Yeah, he is a fantastic player. And let's not sleep on this Illinois defense. I think in year 2 under a new DC, Aaron Henry, it took a huge step.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you have to grow as a play caller. That's part of the process when you're in your first year of calling plays and then you have a bunch of injuries on your team. Everything's not going to go right. And they didn't go right for him last year, but he had an opportunity to grow, go back and watch the film. Guys were healthy, had more athletes on the back end, and they played so much better this year because he was comfortable calling those plays as well.
If you had Illinois with a chance for 10 wins this season on your preseason bingo card, have a chance to cash that one in. What a fascinating season and late-year storylines for Michigan, which will now face Alabama in the postseason. Wolverines closed out the regular season with the program's 4th straight win and by far the most unexpected of the bunch over rival Ohio State. Sherrone Moore's first year as head coach was marked with QB questions defined by inconsistency until that game, and now the Maize and Blue face the same team they beat in last year's national semifinal. It will be Michigan and Alabama on New Year's Eve day. Tide and Wolverines suddenly becoming familiar postseason foes. This will be the third meeting in a bowl game between the squads since 2019, with each team winning once, though the national semifinal certainly trumps. No question the focus of Michigan's top-tier run defense will be the ability of Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe to hurt opponents with his legs, even more so than he does throughout the air. Michigan feels as good as it has all season long, even without Will Johnson, even without Colston Loveland, who didn't play in that Ohio State game, to have that kind of momentum heading into the postseason, which as a whole was a question mark midway through the season, is huge for Sharon Moore in year one.
Oh, absolutely. I think you go back to the Northwestern game. From Northwestern moving forward with the recruiting cycle going on, and then obviously the big win over Ohio State, they've been on a real run for the last 3 weeks, and this is just another opportunity for them to continue to build their brand and continue to build this team. They've had younger guys step up and be able to make plays, but the challenge will be on the defensive side, without a doubt, because one of the things we talk about Milroe being able to run and really control the game with his legs, the deep pass is something that he's really good at. And oh, by the way, they have one of the best wide receivers in the country running around on their side as well.
All these crazy coincidences and connections. Kalen DeBoer, now at Alabama. Of course, he was the head coach at Washington when they lost to Michigan in the national championship game, in the game following Michigan's win over Alabama. I'm sure all the Michigan fans have that in the brain. For everybody else, hope you had a chance to write that down. Think about what a win in a game like this could do for Sharon Moore moving into year two.
Yeah, it would be huge for him. And listen, we knew that they were going to have ultimately take a step back this past year. And it's just natural when you win a championship and then you lose as many players and then you have the injuries that you have. But I still believe that this is a team that's marching in the right direction and being built correctly. And you look at what they were able to do on the recruiting circuit this year. This is a team that's gaining depth, and now they have a quarterback that may be able to lead them to some bigger and better things down the line.
New Year's Eve day in the ReliaQuest Bowl for the Wolverines and Crimson Tide. We're halfway home after 6 of 12 bowl announcements for Big Ten teams. Up next, we share all the details on where the Hawkeyes and Huskers are headed for their respective postseasons. Nebraska will play in the postseason for the first time since 2016 at the Pinstripe Bowl. After getting off to a 5-1 start, the Huskers dropped 5 of their final 6 to finish at 6-6, but the lone win in that stretch over Wisconsin did secure bowl eligibility. Nebraska will now face Boston College at Yankee Stadium on December 28th. Interestingly enough, Nebraska's first ever bowl win as a program also came in the Bronx at the 1962 Gotham Bowl inside the original Yankee Stadium. Boston College, coached by former Penn State and NFL headman Bill O'Brien. And while Matt Rule's second regular season in Lincoln didn't finish exactly the way he liked, there is another game to play for the Huskers, which will be the program's first ever against BC. All of Husker Nation has been waiting for the day when Nebraska would get back to the postseason. Perhaps this isn't the way they envisioned it after that terrific start. It slowed down a little mid-season, late in the season. But now you have a chance to continue to build on momentum. And just as importantly, ask every single coach, more important than playing in that bowl game, the 15 practices for the young guys and anybody new to your program.
And it's an opportunity, to get some recruits on campus. The portal's opening up tomorrow, and you'll have to be able to have some other people around the program. So that's obviously significant. To be playing in a bowl game is going to be huge for Nebraska to continue to build that confidence and to try to continue the winning ways of what they ultimately need to do, trying to get that ultimate goal and be able to get this team really being able to control their own destiny. Doing a better job of that. And there were some lulls this year, and I think where they didn't take care of details. This will be another situation. Yes, you've gotten to a bowl, but you need to win the bowl game. It's just not about getting there for them.
And you also have more game reps and postseason game reps for a brand new offensive coordinator. Dana Holgorsen, hired late in the season, pay him a lot of money. Need to get him in there, get Dylan Raiola to stay in Lincoln and continue to be the leader of this offense. That is the goal for Nebraska, of course, in addition to beating BC in the Pinstripe Bowl. As for the team which knocked off Nebraska to finish the regular season, Iowa will play in the Music City Bowl to wrap up its 2024 campaign. Hawkeyes won 4 of their last 5 and posted rivalry wins over Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the aforementioned Huskers to highlight their season. Iowa now set to play its 21st bowl game under head coach Kirk Ferentz as the Hawks head to Nashville for the second time in 3 years, where they will face a Missouri team they've played only once since 1910.
We still consider going to a bowl game a really significant accomplishment for our football team. This will be our 22nd one since our first bid back in 01. So just really proud of the guys and happy for them, especially to end up in a good venue like this and in a good game against an outstanding opponent. A lot of work to do on them. Certainly got a lot of time to do that right now. But first and foremost, just happy with the way things have panned out, and just again really happy for our team and congratulate them on a really good year.
This game is something of a rematch from a game that never actually happened, if that's possible. Hawkeyes and Tigers were set to meet in the 2020 Music City Bowl till that pesky COVID-19 had other ideas. And as an added storyline, an Iowa win would be the 205th of Kirk Ferentz's illustrious career, tying him with Woody Hayes for the most in Big Ten history. When you think about what Iowa has done and the number of games this team won in 2024, with very little quarterback consistency or explosive play from that position, and every opposing defense knowing they had to shut down Caleb Johnson, it is a remarkable feat once again by Kirk Ferentz and his staff.
You think about the coaching job. We talked earlier about Oregon and the beliefs that they have, their players have in their coaching staff. This is the same thing that you see in Iowa City. And this is a locker room that could easily have been divided, not this year, last year, probably the last 3 years when you look at the way they've struggled offensively. But it's never happened. And that is about the leadership in the room as well. I thought they've done a tremendous job. And the fact that he still embraces the bowl experience is significant, because it still is special to have an opportunity to go to the bowl and send the seniors out the right way and go out and have a chance to compete. He still understands that, and it's going to be an outstanding matchup. But it'll be interesting to see what both rosters look like when we get to that point.
Caleb Johnson has already said he's declaring for the draft, will not play in the bowl game. So how does Iowa find the offensive lift it needs without K2? That last game against Nebraska was the perfect microcosm. Johnson goes for a huge play, special teams and defense late. A lot of those guys potentially not on the Hawkeye roster for this meeting with the Missouri Tigers. 3 of the Big Ten's 4 West Coast schools set to play their first bowl games as conference members. You already know about Oregon. And next, we share the deets on USC and UW. Plus, I sit down with Washington head coach Jedd Fisch for an exclusive interview. Washington's year will end at the Sun Bowl after it began with a first-year head coach hired late in the process and a revamped roster that looked nothing like the one which had just played for the national title. Remarkably, that season will continue in a bowl game, as Jedd Fisch led the Huskies to a 6-6 regular season record, including conference wins over the likes of Michigan and USC. Now the Huskies will face Louisville on New Year's Eve day in El Paso, Texas. Like some of the other matchups we've touched on, this will be the first ever meeting for the teams involved, as Louisville and Washington have never before been on the same field. Husky defense will certainly be tested by the explosive offense of Louisville and Jeff Brom's aggressive play calling, a combo that has the Cards ranked among the nation's best in both points per game and total offense. Excited to have Jedd Fisch now join us from Seattle. Obviously still working late on a Sunday night. You get that bowl bid, you got to do all that scouting, get everybody ready. Jedd, I'm sure it was great to share with the guys the news. Was this a goal for you personally at the start of the year to get to the postseason? And what does it mean to the program to be there?
Yeah, being in the postseason is critical. I mean, we needed 15 more practices. We needed the opportunity to continue to compete. We took over a program with 1 returning starter. We wound up being able to get the 6 games we needed to win, beating Michigan, beating USC, beating UCLA, beating Northwestern. And when you have a 9-game conference schedule, that makes a big difference. That's a lot of tough games, a lot of tough wins. And for us to go ahead and do that in our first year together, really proud of our guys. And we're going to go compete as hard as possible to get that 7th win and win the bowl game.
Jedd, what was the biggest challenge internally for the staff and the team with that revamped roster? And more importantly, how were you able to meet that challenge well enough to still be playing?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing right now is that when we got here, we had 44 players on scholarship. And in the end, we had no players that started on our offensive line that was even on our team practicing in spring ball. So the fact of the matter is everything's new, everything was different, and we had to go ahead and really create a team. And we created a team from scratch, and we had some great guys that hung with us, and we had some guys that came with us, and we had some guys that developed into who they want to be. And then there was a bunch of players we grabbed in the spring and summer to help us compete this year. But the challenge was great, but the opportunity to go play in a bowl game is even better.
Jed, what have you enjoyed the most this season in year one?
Well, I mean, I love being in the Big Ten. So for me, our team had to go on the road and play in the whiteout at Penn State. Our team went on the road and played at Iowa. Our team went on the road and played in a red out or stripe out at Indiana. Our team went on the road and played at Oregon. Those were amazing opportunities. Those 4 road games in the, plus the blackout at Rutgers. I mean, those 5 road games were really something special to experience. Now, to be able to continue to teach our guys about the Big Ten and how amazing the atmospheres are and how amazing the environments are, and then win every home game we had, now 20 in a row. Just being in this conference has made it just really special.
Well, let's finish with that final opportunity of the year, the Sun Bowl against Louisville. Obviously, we here at the network know Jeff Brom very well from his time at Purdue. Great play caller, explosive offense. How well do you know Coach Brom? How familiar are you in a short scouting period here right now with Louisville?
Yeah, well, I mean, Coach, I don't know Coach Brom personally, but I know a lot about his offense. I've watched a lot of his offense. I've seen him, what he's done with quarterbacks in years past. Clearly seen the success they had. They lost 4 games this year, and they were all 1-score games. So you look at it, and I mean, this team is as good as anybody in the country. They beat teams that are competing in the college football playoffs. So we know that we got our work cut out for us. They got a fantastic running back who you're showing on the screen, I think. So I certainly understand the challenges ahead of us, and we're excited about our team and what we can bring to El Paso.
And we're excited to watch it. Jed Fish from Washington. Coach, appreciate the time.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
USC fights on and will play on the Las Vegas Bowl. The journey started with an impressive opening win against LSU. Then the Trojans struggled early in league play, losing 4 of their first 5 conference games before responding with key wins over Rutgers, Nebraska, and UCLA. Lincoln Riley made a midseason quarterback change. The Trojan defense was dramatically improved, and the end result is a trip to Vegas, where the men of Troy will take on Texas A&M on December 27th. This game will mark the first time USC and A&M have met in nearly 50 years. It's also a true bookend for USC, as that season opener against an SEC opponent was played in the same Las Vegas-based Allegiant Stadium that will host the Trojans and Aggies in just a few weeks. And what a difference a few weeks have made for A&M, which went from 7-1 to 8-4 over the final month of the season. It's impossible to say a bowl game is a must-win for any team because you're not sure in today's day and age which players from your roster will be playing or exactly who you're going to be playing until these announcements are made. But I think if you were to put a scale of importance on wins inside the postseason, USC and Lincoln Riley need a win as much as anybody in this league.
Yeah, and I'll go back a year ago when he was getting this team prepared, because they went through a lot of situations where they weren't going to have a lot of people available. But he said that this team made its greatest jump going back to bowl preparation. I'm sure he wants and expects that to happen once again, bringing a lot of the younger guys together and really trying to continue to gel and build this team. I just think the expectations at SC, they're huge. They're expected to go out and compete for championships each and every year, but this was a building year for them. So they need to continue to build, and these 15 practices are going to help them get there.
And I think Lincoln Riley agrees with you, a building year, which is why he made the switch from Miller Moss to Jaden Maiava, who showed us some things over the course of the second half of the season. Now Maiava gets 15 more practices as well, and of course gets the experience of playing in a postseason game. Take you to both the Twin Cities and the Banks. Coming up a bit later in the show, I'll catch up with PJ Fleck and Greg Schiano on the heels of their respective bowl invites. But first, we wrap up the day in men's hoops, including a West Coast Conference clash and a terrific matchup inside Mackey between the Terps and the Boilers. All that and more still to come here on The Big Show.
Welcome back into the big show here with Rafael Davis, the coach, John Beilein. I'm Kylan Mills, here to talk some men's hoops, a couple of Sunday matchups to get to, including a wild one out west in Eugene, and that is where we start. We're going to talk some defense, because, Coach, I know you love defense. 12th ranked Oregon hosting UCLA. First half, Bruins up 7. Lazar Stefanovic misses the 3. Will Kyle, though. Yeah, Rafael liked that one. UCLA trailed by 1 at the half. Second half now, Bruins up 1. Will Kyle, great pass. Eric Daly Jr., the hoop and the harm. He had a team-high 19 points. Under a minute to play, Ducks down 4. Keyshawn Barthelemy misses the 3. Nate Biddle is a force. He had a double-double. That bucket cuts the lead to 2. After a Bruin turnover, Ducks with a chance to tie or take the lead. Jackson Shellstad knocks it down from 3. The Ducks are up with 10 seconds to play. 4 seconds to go here. UCLA with one last chance. Dylan Andrews somehow gets it to go. UCLA pulls off the upset, 73-71. Andy Katz is with the hero, Dylan Andrews, after the game.
What was your viewpoint with, 0.7 left in terms of your vantage point of the basket?
I mean, the goal was we just wanted to be able to get a shot off and hopefully a good look. And the play was for my guy Lazar to come off a screen, but they took that read away, so it was one-on-one with me in the big.
So Jackson hits the shot from just to my left where I'm standing. You don't have much time to think about it. What were you thinking, though, from that shot that put them ahead to the opportunity you just had at the other end?
I mean, we still had time on the clock, and we know for a fact big-time players can make big-time plays, and I trust anyone to take that shot. We had Kobe Johnson with 2 threes. Eric Daly, he had a great game. He put up 3 threes. It just feels good to come out with that W, man. You know, that New Mexico loss really hurt us, and we went back to the drawing board and just – we knew for a fact that we had to build team chemistry. We knew it wasn't going to come right away because, you know, it's a whole new team. And we're just trying to go one one practice at a time.
Congratulations. Big smile. You called bank.
I did call bank.
Congratulations on a great shot.
Thank you, my man.
Big-time upset for UCLA. You heard him say, big-time players make big-time plays, Coach. UCLA brought in the best scoring defense in the country. What impressed you about the Bruins in this one?
Those big shots were huge, but I don't think it was the last shots. I would think it was the start of the game and the start of the second half, where UCLA just got Oregon out of their rhythm. And they got sped up like they do to other people, and then they were fighting back both halves. And you just can't play that way. You can't play from behind, make a shot at the end, and expect to win every single time. So a lot to be learned by both teams.
What I love from UCLA is that they took care of their basketball. You go on the road in the Big Ten in the tough environments, you got to take care of it. So 9 turnovers, that was big time. They made 12 threes. They got it going from the outside. But for me, it was all about Eric Daly Jr. in that second half. Only had 3 points in the first, but 16 in the second half, 6 for 6 from the field, made both threes. Phenomenal. And then at the end of the game, you give the ball to your best player, your stud, Dylan Andrews. He said big-time players make big shots. I say tough players make tough shots in big-time environments.
And in their first road game, too.
Exactly.
So it was a great win for UCLA. Wow.
Did you guys like this game between the Ducks and Bruins? I have some good news for you. They play again on January 30th, so circle the calendar for that one coming up later on in the Big Ten season. We got another conference matchup to get to on this Sunday. 8th-ranked Purdue hosting Maryland. Mascots getting in on the action, apparently. Second half here, Boilers down 3. Rodney Rice, his attempt blocked by Braden Smith. He was doing it on both ends, guys.
Braden Smith had it going, and as Coach said, he became the hunter. He was hunting his shots, and he was knocking them down from all over the floor.
Under 10 minutes to go in the second half, Maryland down 3. Derek Queen gets the feed outside, and I know you like big man who can shoot from 3, Coach.
Oh, I love it when they can do that. They stretch the floor. They create space for everyone.
Terrapins kept things tied up there. Later in the second half, Purdue up 2. Smith brings the ball up the floor. Beautifully done. Boilers win a close one, 83-78. Purdue head coach Matt Painter is with Robbie Hummel.
Coach, it's a really high-level college basketball game. How'd you guys find a way to pull this out?
Man, our guys hung in there, made some big plays. Obviously, Braden made some huge plays. Trey got in some foul trouble right away, and then really had a good second half for us. But it was a team effort. I thought our guys really stood up. They just out-rebounded us in that first half. We did a better job on the glass, but we also took care of the basketball.
Braden Smith, 24 and 10. What impressed you most about him today?
Well, I like that he's aggressive. He's looking for a shot. We knew they'd be deep in their drop, just trying to get him in transition to look to attack. Then when they took it away, he did a great job of passing the ball.
Purdue did an excellent job taking care of the basketball, and a huge part of that was guard Braden Smith. In addition to just being so aggressive offensively, 24 points, 10 assists. What impressed you most? Was he listening to the pregame, Rayfel? Getting on the pick and roll action?
I love what Coach said. He was being aggressive. He was looking for a shot. You heard Coach Beeline say a little bit earlier, Braden Smith has been a point guard that can score the ball. In this one, he was a scorer playing point guard. He was beautiful, getting out in transition, finding shooters. That's what Purdue needs to do more of. They got to find ways to steal points. But if you're going to play that drop coverage against Braden Smith and the Purdue Boilermakers, Braden has got to make you pay. 24 points, 5 of 8 from the three-point line, and those 10 turnovers, only 1 assist. Braden Smith was big time all night.
Yeah, and you know what? Coach Painter is one of the greatest teachers, and I can guarantee you in the 2 games after the Penn State, they were really emphasizing, we ain't turning it over. Yep. You understand? Purdue does not turn it over. And that really resonated today. And the other thing, Maryland's first road game of the year, and that's not where you want to start your road games, is in that place. That's one of the loudest arenas in the country. It's so tough, especially when a little momentum would get going. So Maryland's really good. Purdue is better today.
I mean, how about Derek Queen? First true road game in the Big Ten, 26 points, 12 rebounds, gave it to Purdue in any which way they wanted it. He was outstanding.
Yeah, they got a lot of talent. They really, and the way Jacoby Gillespie is becoming this point guard, a lot of ways to score. But I thought with about 10 minutes to go, the volume came up in Purdue, and Maryland had not seen that. That's a new group of guys. They were all together, and all of a sudden, what is this? That sound is bouncing off the concrete, and they're saying, what did we just walk into? So it was a great win, and Maryland, they're here to stay, though. They're a really good team.
Even outside of Braden Smith in that second half for Purdue, it was Traycoff and Wren, it was Fletcher Lawyer. Those guys stepped up in a big way and really led home this victory.
Purdue and Maryland both now 1-1 in Big Ten play. A huge bounce-back performance for the Boilers. Speaking of Purdue, we've got some big football news to get to out of West Lafayette. School officials have named Barry Odom as the program's 38th head coach. The news comes about 1 week after Purdue parted ways with Ryan Walters after a 1-11 finish in his second season at the helm. Odom arrives in West Lafayette after 2 successful seasons as the head coach at UNLV. He led the Rebels to consecutive 9+ win seasons and was named the Mountain West Coach of the Year in 2023. Odom also was the head man at Missouri from 2016 to 2019. He said in a statement that taking over this Purdue program is like a dream come true. Coming up, Gophers fans, is Mayo a dream come true for you? Maybe. The Minnesota football team is rowing the boat to Charlotte to take on Virginia in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. PJ Fleck's reaction is after this.
Headed to the Duke's Mayo Bowl, PJ Fleck has now officially led Minnesota to a bowl game 6 times during his 8 years with the Gophers. Minnesota finished its regular season with a road win at Wisconsin to bring Paul Bunyan's axe to the Twin Cities for at least a year. Gophers also beat USC, which was ranked 11th at the time, and knocked off Illinois in Champaign. Minnesota now takes that record into a showdown with Virginia Tech, the game slated for January 3rd in Charlotte, North Carolina. Thrilled to have PJ Fleck with us. Coach, before we talk about what's over your right shoulder, those Mayo jars and the bowl game that you guys will be attending, it's been another terrific year, potential 8-win season. You're going back to the postseason once again. What's been the key to this consistent success in the Twin Cities?
Yeah, I think it's the camaraderie and the connection we have as a staff and also with our players. I think that's one of the things in the new era of college football. I mean, you could lose anywhere between 50, 60, 70 players. You could have your whole team turn over in 1 year. We've been fortunate enough to bring in, I think, the right transfers that fit our culture and program, and then continue to develop the players that are here, and then also bring in a lot of high school players that fit the culture and program too, and stick to that fit is everything. And Max Brosmer couldn't be a better example of that, coming over from New Hampshire for 1 year, who really did a great job at the quarterback position.
PJ, you finished the regular season by winning the Axe, bringing it back to the Twin Cities on your birthday, nonetheless. More importantly, what kind of lift does that give you guys as you wait to get started on the actual bowl practice? And I know the bowl prep has already began.
Yeah, it already has, and we're already 2 practices into it. It was a huge win for our program. Anytime you beat your rival and your number one rival, I think it's really, really uplifting for your program. I think both states put so much into that game, fan bases from Minnesota and Wisconsin. I just love that it's a true rivalry again. You know, we've been here 8 years. We're 4-4. It's a true rivalry that goes back and forth. And we're fortunate that we're on the receiving end of it this year. Our players really went out there and earned it. I thought left no doubt for the 2024 season. But that was a huge game for us, and we knew it. Anytime you make a trip to Madison, it's a really difficult place to play. I thought our players handled that really well and made a ton of plays. But as you get into bowl prep, you know, it's a celebration of the 2024 season and all these people involved, staff, players, our administration, our fans. And then also it's a start of really it's a 2025 season. And we take that very seriously around here, and so do our players.
You do get a taste of that postseason, pun fully intended, with some extra mayo over that right shoulder. You'll play in the Duke's Mayo Bowl against Virginia Tech, one of the later bowl games on the schedule on January the 3rd. What can you tell us about Va-Tech? I know it's a way too early scouting report, but this is a team that has faced other Big Ten competition this year.
Yeah, we're just fortunate enough that the people at Duke's Mayo picked us, Danny Morris and his entire staff. The Charlotte Sports Foundation. We couldn't be more excited about heading out to Charlotte. And I love it. It's a bowl game we haven't played in before. I hear amazing things about it. And you have an unbelievable opponent in Virginia Tech. Now, very similar to us, we had 7 one-possession games this year. We went 3-4 in those. I mean, if you find a way to go 6-1 in those, it's a whole different season. You're winning 10 games. But when you look at them, they've had 5 one-score losses. So 2 really similar teams with very similar records. I got a lot of respect for Coach Pry and what he's done there. I got a chance to visit him when I was out visiting Penn State and James Franklin a few years back. And he's got a great football team. Haven't had a chance to really dive into them just yet, but I've seen them from a helicopter view and from about 30,000 feet. And they're a really good football team that's really well coached. And thank goodness we have 27, 28 days because we're going to need it.
And thank goodness for Gopher fans who want more football after January 1st. They get to wait until January 3rd to see that bowl game being played. PJ, congrats on all the success so far. Look forward to watching your team in the postseason.
Appreciate it, Rick. Happy holidays. Row the boat, Sky Mountain. Go Gophers.
Still to come on this bowl-centric edition of the Big Show, we head to Rutgers, where Greg Schiano and company have chopped their way back into the postseason. I sit down with the Scarlet Knight headman right after this. Rutgers will head to the Rate Bowl after weathering a season-long storm of injuries. Scarlet Knights opened the year with 4 straight wins before that injury bug bit hard. It played a huge role in 4 straight losses. To the credit of this team, its staff, and the program's chop mentality, Rutgers found a way to close with 3 wins in November. And now Greg Schiano's team heads to Phoenix, where the Scarlet Knights will take on Big 12 foe Kansas State. And Greg Schiano joins us now. Greg, we'll get to the bowl game in just a sec, but I want to look back on the season first. What are you most proud of when it comes to this group?
Yeah, just how mentally tough they were. You know, they just stuck together, played for each other. Certainly a crazy season with unprecedented. You know, I've been doing this a long time, never seen as many injuries as we had, and these kids stuck together and kind of reinvented ourselves as a team. And really came on strong at the end to finish the year right.
Not just injuries, Greg, season-ending injuries to significant players. You lost Notre before the year even started. Kyle was missing for parts of the year. Sam Brown for most of the year. I could go on and on. You told us the team was able to stay together. How were they able to stay together?
I think it's a testament to the, number one, the kind of young people that are in our program, but number two, their belief in our culture. You know, culture is certainly an overused word in today's society, but in this case, I think that's the only thing that kept us, kept our head above water there, so to speak, for a while until we kind of reinvented who we were.
You do have veterans on this squad that will soon be playing their final game for your program. What will the legacy be of the 5th-year guys and the 4th-year seniors when they leave your program?
Well, I think they've had a great legacy. They'll leave a great legacy. You know, they took a chance on us. This is the group 5 years ago that came and, you know, in 11 days we recruited this class. And, you know, we were blessed because a lot of these guys are going to go play in the National Football League. And to do that in 11 days is really a testament to the kind of young men they are and the kind of football players they are.
You'll face Kansas State in the Rate Bowl. I know it is remarkably early in the scouting process for you. What do you know right now about the Wildcats and their head coach, Chris Kleiman?
Yeah, remarkably early is exactly right. Like I found out maybe an hour ago who we're playing. So, but I've never coached against Chris, but I just have utmost respect. Have followed his career, and then the job that he's done at Kansas State. Certainly, I didn't know who we were going to play, and I have so much stuff going on with our own roster and coaching staff and all those things that I just said, I'm going to wait till, we find out who we play. And it's not that long a turnaround time. A couple of weeks we'll be on a plane heading out to Arizona. So we got a lot of work ahead of us, and but we got a great group of guys that are excited to do it. And, it's the thing we're thrilled about, back-to-back bowl games. That's what people around here were used to the first time we were here, and now we're getting back into that groove.
Well, let's finish there. Has become an expectation now to go to the postseason. So what's the next step, Greg?
Well, we just keep building it. As I tell them all the time, one step at a time, we'll get closer. You write your story one word at a time. Don't try to write the whole ending now. Just take care of now, and that's what we do. And we got to do that now. Tomorrow, we'll go out and practice. I gave the guys the entire week to recover. I mean, it was a tough year. And we'll get back started tomorrow and really start to get back into playing and coaching football.
Greg Schiano and the Scarlet Knights looking for a late Christmas present with a win over Kansas State in the Rate Bowl. Greg, congrats on the great season. Look forward to seeing you guys in the postseason as well. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Rick.
Back to buckets after the break as Kylan Mills returns alongside Autumn Johnson to recap the entire day on the women's hardwood. That's coming up next, only right here on The Big Show.
Welcome back into our Chicago studios. Autumn Johnson here with me, Kylan Mills, to talk some women's hoops. A lot of Big Ten conference openers took place this weekend, so a lot of action to get to. Let's dive right in with a top 25 matchup that took place out in Columbus. 12th ranked Ohio State hosting 21st ranked Illinois. We picked this one up late in the second quarter. Cody McMahon is a bucket. I think that's the easiest way to put it. Autumn?
The size, the strength, the physicality, a bucket, a cheat code, whatever you call it, and a three-point shooter now. Come on, Cody McMahon. Welcome back.
Buckeyes up 19. Later in the quarter, Ohio State still up big. Asia Petty finds McMahon. Easy layup, 83-74. The final. Buckeyes win their Big Ten opener. Top-ranked UCLA playing at Washington. Third quarter action, UCLA up by 8. Lauren Betts with the block, fast break. Kiki Rice gets the layup. Two Bruin stars teaming up. Rice had 18 points. Under 4 minutes in the fourth quarter, UCLA up 5. What else do you do but feed Lauren Betts?
I mean, you only pray, because Lauren Betts can bury you down low, finish on either shoulder. She is a force to be reckoned with down low.
I mean, once again, it's Lauren Betts. It's her show, her world. We're all just living in it. UCLA remains undefeated, 73-62 the final there. Northwestern taking on 23rd ranked Michigan in Ann Arbor. Final seconds of the first half. Mila Holloway converts the layup. Wolverines would lead by 7 at the end of the first. End of the third quarter, Wildcats up 1. Melanie Daly finds Caroline Lau. Contested three-pointer goes. Northwestern would take a 4-point lead into the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter now, Michigan trails by 1. Jordan Hobbs, the leader, of course, the one to get the tough layup to go. She would give Michigan the late lead. Wolverines beat the Wildcats 60-54. Minnesota, Nebraska with a Big Ten opener in Lincoln. Kendall Coley works for the board. Callan Haight cashes in. She went 3 of 5 from beyond the arc in this one. Second half, Minnesota playing catch-up. Nebraska turnover. Grace Graholski with a steal. Finds Sophie Hart with a fast break layup. 36-21 the score. Gophers had 15 points off turnovers. Final minutes of the fourth quarter, leading score of the night. Alberti Rimdahl with the layup. Nebraska wins this one 84-65. Michigan State with a non-conference matchup against DePaul. Second quarter here, Spartans up 12. Jaden Simmons pushing the pace. Emma Shoemate with the triple. Spartans led 42-25 at the half. Third quarter here, Michigan State up 19. Julia Aralt, one of my favorite players to watch in this league, takes it all the way. 17 points, 12 boards, 3 steals. Just ridiculous stuff. Fourth quarter, Simmons gets the pass on the outside, splashes it home. She led all scorers with 18 points. Spartans win this one 89-61. Let's go back to that top 25 matchup in Columbus. Ohio State takes down Illinois. Buckeyes forward Cody McMahon had no rust to shake off Autumn after coming off an injury. 25 points. She's just a force to be reckoned with.
4 games off, and I already knew when we saw her back in the lineup, I'm like, oh, we're about to get a show tonight. Cody McMahon understands the assignment at hand. This is a new-look Buckeye team, and she understands that this is her team. They are going to go as far as she takes them. What does she do? She bullies her defenders inside, getting in that mid-range, getting downhill, and even added a 3-point shot to her bag. But it also helps when you have other offensive pieces around you, like electric guards and Jelani Cambridge. Chance Gray was electric as well. And Taylor Theory, who I think is an unsung hero, this is a complete unit for this Buckeye team.
2 threes for Cody McMahon in this game. I was like, woo, raise my eyebrows right there. Ohio State now 8-0, Illinois 7-2. We got to talk about another big in this conference, and that's UCLA's Lauren Betts, the top-ranked Bruins with their first Big Ten win. How have you seen Betts' game develop?
Yeah, I think it's just the mentality for Betts. Last season, she ranked her confidence at a 3. This year, she's playing like the best player in the country, and she's showcasing that in the interior. And she's really great at creating a lot of attention, but also passing when she's getting those doubles. She has a lot of scoring weapons around her. Her and Kiki Rice now have a year under their belt playing together, so now they're just comfortable. She knows the system. She knows what this team needs from her, and that confidence is just spewing out to the other players around her. So I'm really excited to see what this Bruins team can do, because I think they can make a deep run to the Final Four and maybe hoist up a national championship trophy.
Here's a stat from that Washington game. The Bruins dominated the paint 50-22, in large part due to Lauren Betts. She's averaging nearly 20 points per game on the season. You could call that confident. And UCLA, by the way, 9-0 on the season. Let's get to a national title game involving another UCLA team taking on USC, this one in men's water polo. Fourth quarter, less than 3 minutes remaining. USC down 10-7. Jack Martin buries that one. USC now down 10-8. Under 20 seconds to go, same score. Jack Larson powers through here, gets the goal. UCLA wins this one 11-8, and they are the NCAA national champions. Up next, final thoughts in the college football playoff bracket and the outlook for Big Ten schools pursuing a national title. Rick, Howard, Ashley, and Yogi weigh in after this.
It's the story of the day, the news of the college football season. The 12-team college football playoff bracket has been released. Oregon, the overall #1 seed. Ohio State and Penn State also get home games inside the Big Ten, while Indiana, the 4th Big Ten team, will be on the road to face Notre Dame. Ashley Adamson, Yogi Roth, with much more on an historic day for the Big Ten and for all of college football.
What a day for the Big Ten Conference. 4 teams in the college football playoff, including the #1 overall seed, 2 teams that get to stay home and host in the first round, and then here in Bloomington, the Indiana Hoosiers, who get to stay in-state and go take on Notre Dame. Yogi, we just got a chance to talk to Curt Cignetti just moments after he heard the bracket announced, and of course he's excited, but my biggest takeaway was that it was just business as usual.
Yeah, he doesn't change regardless of circumstance, and he wants to make sure that his team reflects that. Nobody was here. There's no pizza party in the team room. They all found out in their own special way. They'll have a team meeting Monday at 5 o'clock and begin. And I think that's really a mirror of what this team's season has been. I think from the outside looking in, you're thinking chip on the shoulder, trying to prove everybody wrong. But when you're here, I've been here for a couple games this season. This team just has an edge. That edge has allowed them to play with the necessary aggression, the necessary acumen, the necessary accuracy when you look at Curtis Rourke. And I think it's going to allow them to make some noise 198 miles away against Notre Dame.
Yeah, and it's the first time that they'll have played them since 1991, and I think Hoosiers are excited that they've got the Friday game. It's the first college football playoff. They'll have that whole day to themselves. All the attention will be on that game. Real quick, just your big picture thought on the bracket in general, especially as it played out for the Big Ten.
Well, I think everybody's in a pretty advantageous situation. You referenced the Friday night game, the whole country will watch. You don't have to fly across the country. Oregon, of course, they have a bye, they play in the Rose Bowl. They don't have to change time zones. Ohio State, Penn State hosting a game. I think for all 4 teams that went in, there's a path to not only winning their first round, but I think even here in Indiana, they got a path to continue on in this thing. Oregon, it's not going to be the easiest, as they'll play, of course, Ohio State or Tennessee. But overall, all 4 teams, I think you're looking back and saying, we either got a home game in our own state, or we're playing in the granddaddy of them all in Oregon against against the winner of the Tennessee-Ohio State game.
And I think it will be interesting if Ohio State beats Tennessee. It will be Ohio State and Oregon in the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. So the more things change, the more they stay the same.
A lot of folks predicted Ohio State, Oregon would play more than once this year. As you take one final look at the postseason big board, 12 games involving the Big Ten teams. Our focus, the CFP. Let's touch on all four quickly. Okay. Oregon waiting, resting until the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, I think this is a great rest for them and an opportunity for them to hone in a few of the things that they want to get cleaned up. They had some issues defensively. They need to get those things straightened out so they can go on a run.
Penn State played extremely well in that loss in the champ game, and now their draw, very enviable, starting at home against SMU.
And I talked about Oregon having an opportunity to get some rest. Tyler Warren, get some rest, because that dude he's the real deal. But I think they are playing at a high level. They play the way they played last night. Good things are going to happen in this tournament.
Ohio State also gets a home game. Tennessee, a dangerous opponent, especially for this Buckeye defense.
Yeah, but the Buckeyes have an opportunity. They've had a week off to really think about what happened in this Michigan game. They've had time to really think and dive into that. This is an opportunity for them to take the next step, and they'll need to be able to do it.
And how about the story still being written by Curt Cignetti in Indiana?
I don't think there's any better story in college athletics right now with the turnaround that happened in Indiana. That's going to be a fun one to watch.
The bracket has been released. The teams are set in stone. It's time to stop talking and let the games begin. Enjoy the college football playoff.